secrets. That she's afraid because he's a lawyer, a very established lawyer. She feels trapped and that she can't say what she really. Welcome to Tarot Talk, where we talk about housewives and reality stars. I make my predictions, which a lot of them are accurate, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this will be true. All of this is alleged, and most of this is my opinion unless I state that I heard it or I've seen it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and comment to let me know what you thought of the video. Hi everyone, this is the fun reading that I'm doing. I do on my Patreon have tons of videos available, so if you're interested, extra material will be on there. My healing course that I do is also on there, and videos like this. So the full version will be on my Patreon. The link is in my bio. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what we can learn from the situation between Erika and Tom Girardi. If you don't know the backstory, it's been alleged that Tom has been embezzling money as a lawyer, and this has caused, this is partially one of the reasons why Erika Girardi has filed for divorce. So this is intuitive based, not fact based, so just what the cards have to say. I'm usually pretty accurate, doesn't mean that I'm 100% accurate. Okay, so I wanted to find out what happened between them, because especially, you know, I just restarted watching the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I used to love them, and the Atlanta Housewives have become too much for me. I feel like it's very negative energy. But the reason why I started watching the Beverly Hills one again is because I really love Denise Richards. She was one of my favorite actresses growing up, and I used to also watch it when Yolanda was on. I feel like I like to watch the people with moral compasses on, not just yelling and shouting all the time. But yeah, so I do feel like it's not really fair how they've treated Denise Richards, but that's another story. I did do a video on her too about 3 weeks ago, so please check that out. So I wanted to find out what happened with Tom and Erika Girardi, and first card I got was Treasure Island. So I have a strong sense that the reason why they connected with one another is because of money. And no shade, I usually date older, so I'm not shading her at all for doing that, but even the way their dynamic is when I watch clips, and granted I don't know everything, it's just a clip, but I get the strong sense that it's almost like he dominates her. She's kind of afraid to speak in his presence, and a lot of lawyers, not all but a lot, have a very bully mentality, and I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case here. She is a Cancer and he is a Gemini. Granted, they have other things in the chart, but as an overall, Geminis are very assertive, particularly male Geminis. I feel like a lot of male Geminis have a need to be in control. It's not bad, but Cancers, they ultimately are attracted to that. Sometimes because they have that emotional side, they can feel bullied by it too. So with the Judgment and Ace of Cups, I have a strong sense when they started getting together, he would like send her gifts, do this, and she wasn't fully convinced to be with him. It took her a while to really be convinced to be with him, and I don't blame her. I've dated somebody way older than I am, and it took a lot of convincing. Not a lot. He was a really cool guy, phenomenal. Whoever ends up with him will be a very lucky person. But sometimes, especially when you're in your 20s, you can feel like you're taking on too much baggage and not really be prepared for somebody who has a lot of kids who are grown and that kind of energy. It's kind of like, especially as a woman, well, on both sides, society will tell you what, like, they're not in their prime, they're not in this, they're not in that. So I feel like there were people around her kind of telling her, don't do it. And she has a rebellious nature, think she might have it like Aquarius in her chart, maybe Aquarius moon, something like that. And she went against them anyways, because Aquarius moon would tend to be like that. So with Page of Wands, Queen of Swords, this is the rebellious nature, Queen of Swords. She was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to marry him. Nobody's going to stop me. And this isolated her. And if you watch my Prince Harry and Meghan Markle video, I said that often a huge sign of abuse is isolation. So I really strongly feel like she was being abused. Not necessarily physically, I think more emotionally and financially. So it's 7 of Swords and 2 of Wands. She has a lot of secrets that she's afraid, because he's a lawyer, a very established lawyer. She feels trapped and that she can't say what she really needs to say. But I have a strong feeling when he dies, she's going to come up with like a tell-all book and talk about what's been happening behind closed doors, because she comes from a family, you can just tell for the energy that I pick up from, is that, and she's also from the south. I feel like this is a Southern Belle kind of thing, but to put on a face no matter what. Like, you can be crying. Beyonce's from the south, she also does that. Who's from the south that also does it? It's a very Southern thing where things can be completely dysfunctional, but in the public eye, you put on your makeup, you shut up, and you do what you're supposed to do. So she's very robotic in that sense. Could also be, like I said, if she has Aquarius moon, that robotic nature. So with 3 of Inspiration, Muse of Materials, she definitely has Aquarius in her chart. I'm not sure exactly where it is. I'm thinking it's moon. 3 of Wands and Knight of Pentacles. There's money that needs to be divided. She kind of feels like, this is mine. She has a very nasty side to her, so I wouldn't want to get on her bad side. Just saying. I think she's going to end up Ace of Wands and 8 of Wands. Yeah, Ace of Wands, 8 of Wands. She's going to end up kind of trapped. She feels very, very trapped. Not just by this, but also by contracts, like music contracts and stuff like that. Because of the fact that her assets have been seized, it's going to continue. She's going to be almost trapped. I don't see her being arrested, but I see money being frozen around her. And when somebody's been operating under the currency of money for so long, that can sometimes be worse than going to jail, depending how you see it. So I got Awakening in reverse. It's almost like she was about to start this great career, and then boom. She was about to start many, many good things, and then boom. And this is a lesson for her, because I feel like her life lesson, if anybody knows her, they can say this to her, but her life lesson is not to be superficial anymore. So with the Justice and Knight of Wands, there's a chance for her. I feel like she's way more spiritual than she lets on, but she's been suppressing that side, and I feel like that makes her angry sometimes. That's why she can kind of be nasty, because she suppresses that side. With the Priestess and the Temperance, once she accesses her spiritual side, she's actually very, very spiritual. She could even read tarot and stuff like that and heal people, but that's the side that the universe is steering her towards, but she's blocking it because she's become very materialistic. And with Queen of Wands tends to be materialistic. It's time to focus on the things that really, really matter, because I don't think that she's done that in a while. So hope that was fun. Thank you so much for being a part of my Patreon team, or membership rather. I love you all, everybody.